So I've made a little pledge. When something goes wrong in the van, whether it's my fault or not, I am going to record about it. As you may know, I've already spoken about the fact that my tap isn't working, the micro switch. It seems to be the micro switch has gone. So I haven't had any water coming through my tap in the kitchen sink. But the saving grace has been that I've had water coming through the bathroom. Last night, I noticed on my control panel it was showing that I had less than 25% in my water. And so last night I thought, okay, that's something for me to do. In the morning, I started to put some water into the tank. It's actually now showing 75%. So there's plenty in there. It's a 100-litre tank. So there's now 75 litres in there because I'm going to be moving on soon anyway. So I want to make sure that I've got plenty of water. However, there's still no water, which means I have a problem with my water pump. So let's see if we can fix it. I can demonstrate what the problem is clearly. It's turned on to cold, lift it up, and there is nothing. You won't be able to hear this, but there is a very faint electrical sound, which is the pump. At least I know there's some power going to the pump. Now, just to let you know how I'm going about this, the first thing was not to panic. And I am actually using ChatGPT. And so I put in what the problem is, said what the model of the van is, and I've already sent it pictures. I'm going to follow the steps and we'll see if it works. So the first step here is clearly to turn off the 12-volt supply to the van because I don't want to get electrocuted or I don't want anything going horribly wrong. So that's what we're going to do. So turn that off. Just messed up my beautifully made bed this morning because I've got to go round to the back now because my water tank is actually under this part of the bed. So I'll go round and I'll show you that now. Use the van. So underneath my mattress here is where the water tank is. So I'm just going to move this cushion so that I can get to it fully and we'll have a look inside. Okay, so now I have removed the mattress and I should have just stacked it all up like that, but I can get to it now. So this is like the inspection, I believe. So when I open this, I can see in there that the water is there, and I've just got to find the water pumps. I don't think it's in that bit, which means it must be in this bit. What I haven't done, this is the valve. So if I open this, all of the water would drain out through underneath the van. So I want to make sure that I don't do that. So I've still got water in the tank. I'm not an expert. I'm just piecing this all together. So AI has told me to open this bit. I'm just going to say again, don't forget, if you are doing this, turn off the 12-volt supply, which I have done. So I'm going to open this now. And I'm being really careful to make sure that I don't disturb any of the wiring whatsoever. What I'm actually trying to do here is, I think there's just some air, right? There's air that's got into the system, and that's why the pump isn't working. So, as I said, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm following AI. I'm not touching any of the wiring. The electricity is off. Okay, so now I can see. So it's not particularly easy to see down in there, and it is dark, but let's see if I can zoom this in. Should be able to see on the end there is the pump on there, and I'm hoping by just tilting it a bit and lifting it that may be enough. That may be enough to change anything that might be an issue with the air. So let's try that first. So coming back into this browsing, and I'm now going to turn this back on. Okay, I don't know if you heard that, but that's back on. I've still got my water in my tank, and Let's see what happens at the tap. Okay, so now the electricity is back on. I can try it again. Nothing. So I'm hoping you can see this and the camera works. So let's see if we can. Okay, click from here. So just checking. These seem to be a little bit loose. So I don't know if that's any effect. I don't really want to take any of this off. What I can do is I can actually reach up. I've already put my arm in there once. I can actually reach the pump. So I'm just going to feel around and see if there's anything loose. Just give it a bit of a jiggle in case it releases something. I don't know, but let's see if it works. Let me just check where it is first. Okay, so I can see it there. The electricity is off, thankfully. Right, I've just got something on the top of the pump that's a little bit loose, so I've just tightened that up. I'm just going to give it just a little bit of a wiggle, just to release it in case it's just an air around it. Put that back on. It's beginning to be a bit of a funny thing that's happening with me with this, and that is, I remember when I was 17 and I got my very first car, I had no money, but I really learned a lot of things from my friends, and the most important thing that I did really learn was like, just give it a go. I have a phrase, give it a go, and then you'll know. I've never looked at a water pump before. Why would I? I've never had anything like this. So anyway, I've dried off my arm, put the electric back on, which I've just done, and I'm fingers crossed I'm going to get some water. I'm really hoping this is going to work. Look at that! Yes, 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 I have water again. I'm going to try this tap just in case it's not the micro switch and that there is actually something coming through. If it does work, it would be an absolute miracle, but let's see. No! Oh! Okay, so that must literally just be whatever was in the pipe, because there's no whirring there. Well, 1 out of 2 is not bad. Okay, so that's something that I've learnt today. I obviously know where my water pump is now. I clearly am pleased that I didn't start dismantling anything, and I just thought I'll just take things one step at a time. And putting it into ChatGPT was actually a godsend, because it gave me a starting point and it was just telling me what bits did what. But I just thought, why don't I just have a feel around and just connect that and just see that everything is right. There was something loose, and I think I also, just by giving it a bit of a wiggle around, which was something that AI suggested, I don't know if that's right or wrong, but it was suggesting that if there was air trapped, then that clearly would release it. And it's worked. So I'm feeling really rather epic right now. And I'm going to put this video out because this might just help someone else if you do that. So 2 things. 1, give it a go, and then you know, don't be afraid of these things. Remember to turn the electric off. And the second thing is this, don't panic. And I had the faith that there's a few things we can try before it becomes a warranty issue or anything any bigger. So it didn't work with my kitchen tap. However, let's just work with that. I've got a feeling that there are going to be lots of little things that go wrong with the van. And I don't think this is about how much I paid for it or how it was made. I think this is something that you are driving around. Things move, things get dislodged. I certainly will not, from now on, let my water go below the 25% mark. That's actually, if I can do that, then that avoids any potential air going into the system that doesn't need to be there. So I hope that's helped. So now I've put my bed all back to how it should be.
I'm Sarah, I'm 55 and I've just cashed in a small pension, sold out virtually everything I own, and I've gone all in financially on getting a campervan. And with my dog Bella, I'm starting my next chapter by exploring the UK coastline and sharing the experiences I have. Hit subscribe